Hey ho howdy yo, my name's fordmustangkillerko and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys the next long-awaited saber adding to my collection, and this is the Qui-GON Jinn lightsaber. And I'll give you guys a little bit background on this. This too is also a saber forged, which means it's not 100% screen accurate. It is an inspired lightsaber, much like my Count Dooku one. But whereas I got the Count Dooku one installed by Saberforge themselves and just had them do everything, I actually ordered this hilt empty and had it sent off to an installer and had him install it for me to make it more Qui-Gon-esque. I'll kind of tell you guys a little bit more about why I went that route. But like I said, this is the Saberforge Guardian. And I'm wearing gloves because obviously this is the chromed version. I think the newer versions of their lightsabers all have actual chrome now rather than matte, which means it is a fingerprint magnet. So I can avoid the fingerprints right now. That would be awesome. So the reason why I went with an installer for this rather than Saberforge is because of mostly this thing right here. When you order the Saberforge Guardian, it doesn't come with the red button that is so, I guess, nostalgic to this lightsaber. And I needed that in a Qui-GON Jinn lightsaber. Other than that, I was fine without the deep grooves. For those of you that don't really know the actual lightsaber on screen, those grooves are like empty. Right, whereas this one's just filled in with black. They're actually empty all the way down. Which makes installing it a little bit harder because you only can install it from like this bottom half, but they rounded it out so you have all this room in here to install, which I'll show you that in a bit. So yeah, basically I wanted that red knob on there. That's pretty much the only reason why I really wanted an installer to install it. It's not 100% screen accurate because I believe that the bottom of it is supposed to be black and not silver, which, you know, it's not really a big deal for me. This is more, I think, for a Darth Maul saber rather than a Qui-GON Jinn. I think the Qui-GON Jinn one has the red button with the black bottom. Darth Maul has the red button with the silver bottom, but, you know, it's not really that noticeable, and it looks alright with the chrome on the outside. And if it really ends up bothering me enough, I could probably just whip some paint around the bottom of there, and it'll be as good as new. Cover Tech clip is included, which is good because I didn't include the Clever Tech clip itself. I just really wanted the knob on there because I have one, and I guess when you have one, you really don't need one for every saber. And then, again, so, like, that was basically the main reason why I wanted to get it installed. And then I saw, Shaminos' video reviewing the brand new NeoPixel Proffieboard on his saber, and he had just the coolest setup I've ever seen on a Qui-GON Jinn lightsaber. And that is basically what I was going for with this saber and what I really wanted. And so I went ahead and went on. I'm on the Universal lightsaber community, and I asked anybody if they would be willing to install, and I found some guy named by Mike with Shaminos Workshop. It's a very small, from what I could tell, it's a smaller, newer company coming up, rising, but he did an excellent job. He was very customer friendly. He was very responsive whenever I had questions, or he let me know what was going on with everything. He let me know when the saber got there. He took pictures of the saber to make sure it was in good condition, everything. His customer service was fantastic, and I have no doubts that he's going to get up there with the saber building community. So thank you, Mike, if you're watching this. I am in love with the saber, and this is hands down the best saber that I own in my collection, and I'm definitely going to be returning to him for more work. We were talking about having him fix my Darth Sidious lightsaber, getting the drilled and tapped for a screw in there, and probably fixing some of the smooth swing, not smooth swing, some of the swing motions and some of the fonts and stuff on there. So that'd be really cool. And then I'm probably going to have him install maybe one or two other lightsabers in the future. So Definitely going to be returning to him. I will leave a link to his Facebook shop in the description below. You guys could go hit him up if you guys are looking for any installations. He does pretty much everything, and he did an amazing job on this, and I can't thank him enough for it. So like I said, this is the Saber Forge Guardian. It's got a Proffieboard inside of it with the, I think it's called Proffie, or it's the, yeah, the NeoPixel. It's got a NeoPixel in it, the Proffie. I just want to make sure that that's what it's called. Let me check real quick. Give me 1 second. Alright, so it is indeed called the Proffieboard. I was right. I didn't want to be calling it the wrong thing this entire video and then being wrong. So he installed it with a Proffieboard, battery, rechargeable battery. He's got a recharge point with the kill key inside there. He added the tactile auxiliary button on the back there, which is reverse on this one, much like Shaminos has, which was really cool. He got that drilled and installed for me on there. Custom blade plug from the Saber Armory that's very accurate to the Episode 1 blade plug. We ordered this with the pre-installation package, I guess. So it's an empty Saber, but it gives you a chassis, it gives you a battery, the recharge port, I believe it gives you a switch, it gives you a blade plug for you to install by yourself. Everything but the board, I'm pretty sure. But I didn't really like the blade plug that was on there. I wanted a more screen accurate one, so he straight traded me this blade plug from the Saber Armory for the blade plug that came with this one. So pretty fair trade for me. He also converted this blade plug into a NeoPixel, which I'll show you when we pop that out in just a second, which is really cool. He added 3 fonts onto the Proffieboard. I don't know how many you can have. I think you can have like a butt ton. I don't want to give a number, but I'm sure it was a lot. But I only opted to go with 3. I went with the I think it was KR's font, I'm not entirely sure, or K Sports font, called the Light, which is a smooth swing since it is a Proffieboard. The smooth swing is just incredible, and I recommend anybody, if they're going to do an installation, go the Proffieboard route and get a smooth swing, because that was awesome. Second one I have on there is a font by Shaminos called Angsty Apprentice, which is a Anakin Skywalker Episode 2 based font. There's one reason and one reason only why I wanted that font on here, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. So I got that font on there, and that one's not a smooth swing, so it's just a regular standard, but it still works really good on the Saber. And then the last font is just a kind of battery checker, which I could show you guys when I get the blade in there, and there's a little special something he threw on that one for me. So it's not necessarily a font, but it's just a, it takes up a font bank to kind of check the battery on this one and see how much charge you got left. I did just notice I don't have the Allen wrench, so let me go grab that real quick, and then we will pull that kill plug and we will hear the fonts. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're all set. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the kill key. I'm not sure what font this is on. But we can always check. Okay, so this is the light font. We do have the green shine through on the blade plug there. Can't really see because I'm not really holding it straight. It's going to hit the back. But you can see just the slightest movement. It's just really cool. I just love this this font. It's really cool. I'll show you guys better once we get the blade in there and swing it around a little better. It'll sound a little cooler. But you do get the auxiliary button, which will give you the blasters. And then unfortunately, the battery that we ordered to actually opt in this one, and I think it was the chassis itself, actually didn't fit in this lightsaber. For the extra $10, you would think that it would be, you know, compatible with all the Saber Forge sabers, but I actually contacted Saber Forge and they told me that it is a mess up and it doesn't actually work on the Guardian, and they actually refunded me the purchase. So we did have to custom 3D print a chassis, and we had to go with a smaller speaker. Again, It was a straight trade, so he got to keep the chassis and the speaker, and then he just put a smaller speaker, which isn't really a big deal. It still sounds really fine, but it isn't the loudest saber that I have, but it gets the job done. So one push on the button here will activate the saber. And you got the smooth swings. The button on the back will be your auxiliary for your blasters. And then tapping on the, or holding down on the activation switch will be your force effect. Oh. Also, with the Proffieboard, you can overlap tracks, which was one of the big deals on why I really wanted a Proffieboard. Once I saw Shamim do this, I needed it recreated. So, without further ado, I'll just show you rather than explain it to you. If you hold down on the activation button for about a second before you activate it, Duel of the Fates will start playing. The lightsaber does still work while you have it. So it's kind of cool. You can have it playing and going on with the music. You can have just the music playing. You can have just the saber on. It's really cool. So I just thought that was, I saw Shamim do that and I needed it on my Qui-Gon saber because this is by far, I think, my favorite saber out of the entire saga is Qui-Gon saber. So I had to go all out on this one. But yeah, so that's the first font. It's Qui-Gon. Once we get back to it, you'll hear the boot up sounds. I believe he put at least like 7, 9, or 11 boot up sounds from Qui-Gon. They're all different. They play randomly, so some might play 2 times in a row. And it's the same thing for the Angsty Apprentice. It'll be just random quotes from Anakin, I think from episode 2.
I'm a Jedi.
So you just tap the auxiliary button on the back to switch fonts. And again, this isn't a smooth swing saber, so this one you actually have to... You do actually have to swing that one pretty hard. It's not smooth swing. It doesn't have the very, you know, finesse feeling of actually having a actual saber. So it's a little bit of a downside, but it is one reason why I wanted this font on there, and this is why. It takes a little bit, but you'll hear it. Yeah. So good. I needed Qui-Gon's Anakin call out to him when he's slaying the Tusken Raiders and has that vision of just him turning into the darkness. So I thought that'd be really cool to have on a Qui-Gon font, is him shouting out to Anakin. Again, with the Proffieboard, you can have a different track. We were going to put Duel of the Fates on this one as well, but I figured, you know, with the whole Call to Darkness, this font being a little bit more of a darker tone, I decided to put the funeral theme when they're burning Qui-Gon at the end of episode 1. And then again, it works with the saber. then this is the font that's on the thing. You'll see it with the blade. It'll make more sense when I show that one, so I'll show that font when we get the blade on there.
The negotiations will be short.
And then we're back to the Qui-Gon smooth swing on that one. So let's go ahead and get a blade thrown in this one. We'll move the camera out, and I'll show you guys how bright this NeoPixel Blade actually is. Alright, so I just remembered that I didn't get to show you guys what the blade plug looks like. That was custom made for the NeoPixel. This is the pre-drilled hole in there. Once you drill that out, it does pop out a little bit. It's got a little bit of a give to it. But I just want to show you what he did. So the blade plug itself was a little shorter. He did have to 3D print. I don't know if he 3D printed it or if he stuck a, if he cut down another blade that he had. But he glued that to there, so made the blade plug a little bit longer and did a NeoPixel install on the bottom, which was really cool. I didn't actually know you could do that, but that's that. The inside of the saber does look like, you can't really, like I said, see, because it is a very deep socket. It's about 2 inches inside of there. I measured all my other lightsabers and they came out to about 32 inches, so I did order a 32-inch blade from Vader's Vault, whoops, which is this here. We'll get that into the lightsaber. It does work without the blade plug, if you wanted to know. Again, you just can't see anything inside of there, which isn't that big of a deal. Go ahead and get the blade on in there. Going all the way. There we go. Felt like it was short. Alright, so we got the blade all the way in there. Let's turn the light off and then we'll get a look at this puppy and see how bright this thing actually is. It is the middle of the day. You can see the sun going through there, but I guarantee you once I light this up, the entire room just ignites. This is by far the brightest lightsaber I own. And I have a feeling once I ignite this one next to all the other ones, this one's just going to outshine all of them. But the smooth swing, it goes based on how hard you swing that saber. Oop. So if you move it very soft or slow-like, we get a slow motion. Swing it kind of harder. Swing it really hard. So it makes your spins a little, if I have room to do this, really, really cool. So it actually makes it feel like you're holding an actual lightsaber. Like, it just picks up all motion, which is awesome. Fast shot class that we got, you didn't really get to see that with the blade plug in there. You just got to take some random colors. There's blue, there's red, there's purple. Fast shot class, you got purple. Again, just mix colors, just make it a little bit of a variety on there. Force effect doesn't really do anything on there. There is a slight blade flicker, which gives it a little bit more lively look, which is awesome. And then you do get the full, like it's a full LED strip inside, so you do get the full activation. Very fast ignition, slow deignition. It's really cool. And with the Proffieboard, you actually get different ignition sounds based on how you hold the saber. You get a movement one, which is kind of cool. Get the full effect here. So that's really cool. We'll switch to the second font, the Anakin Skywalker font.
Someday I will be the most powerful Jedi ever.
And then this one too, doesn't have a smooth swing, but you actually have to swing this one. But he's got the motion set perfectly for me. We got Fashion on Clash, variety of colors, blasters. And then this one. And this font actually has my favorite ignition sound ever. It's very close to the snap ignition that was heard in Return of the Jedi with Luke Skywalker's saber. Let's see if I can get it to do it. It's not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Oh, so clean. Let me hold that position and I'll come show you guys a little bit closer. Oh, so good. It is so crisp. So that's got to be my favorite ignition sound. I could go ahead and show you guys the battery checker font that he put on here for me. So this is a font. Like I said, it's not an actual lightsaber font. You don't have any clashing effects. You don't have any motions. There's nothing that happens with the power switch when you do this. But you basically see that there is a light in the middle of here. This is the top of the blade. Basically, the further away this light is from the bottom of the hilt, the more the lightsaber is charged. I've been using this for the past 2 days since I've gotten it, and I haven't charged it, and it's about almost halfway dead, so I'm going to have to charge it pretty soon. But when I first got it, obviously it was all the way at the tip. It was fully charged. He put a little pulsing on it, which is kind of cool. But like I said, this is just a quick, easy way to check to see how much your lightsaber's got left in livelihood. Again, with the Proffie, you can throw music tracks on there, and just for the shits and giggles, he decided to throw this on there. That's the fight scene from Rogue One. This is kind of like a cool little display piece, so you can just have this displayed and have it going on. I actually don't know how long this takes. Is this the whole scene? Because I haven't actually heard this all the way through. It's kind of just a little snippet, but that's really freaking cool. So then it stops, and then you can restart it if you want as well. But that is really cool. I didn't know it actually did that.
Don't think. Use your instincts.
Alright, so that will actually do it for these Qui-GON Jinn Qui-GON Jinn lightsaber. I got one more now for my complete collection, and then for those of you that haven't seen the new Star Wars Rise of Skywalker trailer, there's a new version of the Graphics, which obviously I'm going to need to get because I have all the other ones, and then I can do another full Anakin Skywalker collection video because I have the one from episode 2 and I have the one from episode 9 now that I can add to the other 3, which would be really cool to have. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I got one more lightsaber I gotta get, and then I can do a full unboxing of what I have so far. Again, anything else I get after this point is going to be just for extras. I'm probably going to take this lightsabers that have displayed on the display down and put it up there and put the Graflex up in its place, but we'll see. That's just so cool. As always, you guys have a great day, and I will catch you guys later. Ford Mustang Killer KO signing out. Bye-bye.